there are a tendency, and this is a human thing, that project our own belief always. We're doing what we want. We we dress depending what we want. We eat what we want, and we want to force others to do it. And that is when we create problems in international business. When we want to force that other follow or doing something that we only we want to look in our own perspective. Without training or in cultural awareness, we quickly level as a wrong behavior when we are in front of other culture. We say, oh, this culture is wrong. We are wrong. Culture does not are wrong. Culture are different, but it's not wrong. We fail to understand and realize that individuals from other culture who are so important to our future, to our business future, and to our life is to understand them. So again, it's a lack of knowledge about cross-cultural understanding, and as you can see now, we are more focused to what doesn't mean culture inside of the communication, and communication tied to international business. There are several mistakes that happen when we deal through cultural, cross-cultural uh, uh, situation. Uh, Mistake that goes to do not interpret, do not understand the message, to translate wrong, and so on. There are several things that you can see in the example that all of the slides and that you're going to look through this class. But in general, we need to be aware that mistake can happen every day in situations related with cross-cultural encounters. Understanding culture are essential if we want to succeed in international business. Let's go to answer this question. How important are the relationship for you? Are you dealing any project that you are immersed just yourself, or you looking for help? You work as a group. Uh, is is time essential in your life? Are you dealing with laid back organization, or those organizations who are pending of time every single second? How direct are the line of communication in your organization and in your business? Are you upward or downward? It's easy to get message from the top. Are you maintain relationship with others in your organization? How about with those low level in your organization? You deal with that? Is the channel of communication uh, frequently and easy? Um, are you doing most of your meeting or electronically, or you just send memos or emails or face to face? How you deal all this process of communication? Are in the organization is hierarchical in the vertical line or horizontal, uh, and all of these things you have to be pending. That is a big factor or umbrella when you deal with different culture, is to put the name on top of all of that cross-cultural things. Another question: do you know your neighbor? Do you remember the school that you with when you high school or whatever? What do you remember? All of these situations are so related with cultural and community. So there are so many things important in when we deal in international business and cross-cultural issues. For sure, we know that culture, we learn culture through our life. When we go to school, when we go to the university, so it's a continuous process. Culture is not a vaccine. Culture is not a genetic. We can change through the life our cultural perspective about something, about whatever happening in our relationship, business or personal relationship. Culture is not limited, and we can learn about culture. We can learn the process of acculturation. Culture can change. We can change our culture, and we can make progressive and incredible changes about what we looking for. Can be slow and gradual. It can be fast. So, in general, the nature and environment of intercultural communication uh, is is under the perspective that we need to understand what does it mean intercultural communication, and this means as easy like a communication in between people or persons from different culture, easy like that. For example, we have more than 42 million Latin Americans in the United States. We need to understand how they communicate if we want to do business with them. Not only the language, but also the value, the culture. By 2050, the number of minorities almost going to be equal like of white Americans. So we need to deal with that situation, with those ethnical, all these cultural changes. More than 2.5 to 3 millions Americans work in foreign companies overseas. So this is incredible. Millions of African Americans and other ethnic groups are in this land. We have some in culture. We have some business genetic names like a McDonald's, Honda, Coca-Cola, Sony, something like that. That create a culture around those products. So as you can see, there are so many things that happen in intercultural business relationship. So intercultural communication is a process that on top we need to add a factor that we are immersed in a global and multicultural workforce, means in a cultural diversity. So now we have for one side the communication things, but the other side we have the global and the market and the globalization. And of course, mix all together, we need to put the technological advances that happen today in international business and in any place of the world. So international competency is a cornerstone. We need to create a competency to understand other culture. We need to create a special feeling to understand not only the language but also the culture, the values, and the whole things that happen when we are immersed in a global business.